startup sequence. It's going to need a few minutes to get charged up.
You really think that's gonna work?
I built it. Of course it's going to work.
Inspires confidence, doesn't it?
Null sector forces are inbound to your position.
Oh, dang it. I meant to...
They're not as young as they used to be.
Watch out for those devices. They aren't just strong, but they tear up the payload.
I can't hear the thing. Need to keep it safe.
To get warmed up.
So it's ready to move out?
Not quite yet.
I should have known. Team, get ready for another wave of attacks.
Setting out the welcome mat.
On the ledge over there.
Claudia? What was that sound?
Seems like we hit another little snag.
Define little snag.
Forget about it. Defend the payload. It just needs a little more time. It's going to work. Trust me.
Watch them keep them off the payload.
One.
Motherfucker. Testing. Damn it. Fucking damn it. Alright, anyway, sorry about that, folks. So no one in the live chat just caught me and said, "Are you talking? There is no sound." Yeah, I was talking, and there was apparently no sound. Also no sound, says JC Armitage. The sound was coming in for when I was playing the intermission footage right there, but as soon as I had, like, unmuted my microphone here on the OBS studio, apparently my microphone was not transferred through the settings on OBS, which I swear, I have set up the audio before for it to intake my, my verbalization and for it to intake the audio through my computer. I have done that before, and I have not tampered with that settings at all ever since then. But for some reason, OBS just wants to act fucking retarded with me and just keep on reverting back to nothing being transferring the audio through, It just wants to transfer the settings from my Rode NT to none as far as picking up audio goes. It's fucking frustrating, and I do not know what the permanent solution might be for that, so I don't have to consistently go back into the audio settings and redirect my audio through my fucking microphone. Maybe that's the thing with OBS streamers, is that they have to check that daily and every single time they stream, rather than just rely that it's by default already set up. I don't know. But anyway, I'm glad you're keeping us safe by wearing your mask, says Red Feather. Yes, it's something that I got from SA Gear, by the way, everybody. Yes, shameless product placement. I'm not paid by SA Gear, but nonetheless, SA Gear, they make these little face masks right here. They're highly more breathable than the fucking N91 or whatever the fuck masks that doctors usually use. And not to mention, very stylish too. As you can see, I'm wearing a blackout American flag. But I just wanted to wear this mostly for a new aesthetic, Red Feather. But yes, I guess I will unfortunately repeat myself, because the first time that I said all this stuff, I was muted apparently, or I was silent. But anyway, so if none of y'all have watched it, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, however the fuck long ago it was, I had done a live stream reviewing the first presidential debate. And obviously more claims from Joe Biden was striking a bit of a red flag for me as far as how true or believable they were. So I got looking at some of the claims, like right there live on that stream, because of to kind of alleviate my skepticism a little bit, but I haven't actually read the articles, and so that's why I'm here for this live stream, is to actually present my information in fact-checking Joe Biden. I'm sure that there's plenty of stuff to fact-check Donald Trump on, but none of his stuff, or at least not as much of his stuff, struck as a red flag for me. But I guess nothing like the president to get started. Oh yeah, also gonna be reviewing a little bit of Jo Jorgensen, some little facets about her, and reviewing and responding to a couple of videos by the end of it that was recommended by Metal Doomer to respond to. But anyway, let's get into this, because apparently I have wasted too much time already with the fact that my audio wasn't properly set up. Damn it. Anyway, so if any of y'all remember back on that live stream where I was reviewing the debate, the presidential debate, Joe Biden right on the spot, or at least Donald Trump was mentioning it on the debate stage there, that Joe Biden called the military stupid bastards, and Joe Biden pretty much denied ever saying that. And I had heard the clip myself before that debate, so I was thinking to myself, you fucking liar, that is some outright bullshit right there. And so I just wanted to play the clip just to show you guys what I had heard.
1, I married Jill. And 2, I appointed Johnson to the academy. I just want you to know that. Just clap for that, you stupid bastard. And 2, I appointed Johnson to the academy. I just want you to know that. Just clap for that, you stupid bastard. Man, you are a dull bunch. Must be slow here, man. Oh.
Now, one could almost give the benefit of the doubt that maybe Joe Biden was intending that as a joke. But then he kind of followed it up with, y'all are a bunch of dull punks or dull bums. I cannot make out to the second word that he said right there. And said that they're all slow. It seemed a little bit kind of condescending and not very joking like. If he was intending it as a joke, it was a horrible setup as a joke. But here's the thing that kind of negates the claim that he might have been joking, is that during the presidential debate, he outright denies ever saying that right there. He denies saying, I called the military stupid bastards. At least Donald Trump, when he was confronted with the piece of information from Joe Biden, you wanted people to shoot bleach up their arms. Donald Trump at least clapped back by saying that was sarcasm and you know it. He did not deny it, he just said that was sarcasm. Joe Biden didn't even do that. When Trump came back at Biden, you called the military stupid bastards. Biden did not say, I was only joking, I was being sarcastic. No, he just straight up lied and denied it. Which there goes to show that there is a little bit of sincerity, for lack of better wording, on Donald Trump's part in that moment, that he might think that the military are a bunch of stupid bastards. Which, this does not mean a whole lot in of itself, because, well, hey, we elected Donald Trump, who is one of the most brash motherfuckers ever elected to office, that keeps on calling people names and so forth. So maybe that's the same thing that we would get with Joe Biden if he was elected president, in his treatment of the military, and that's about it. But no, I mean, I would not go so far to say that it's only just that. I mean, what if he was to take it a step further and, I don't know, start exploiting or misusing the military in a way that is kind of almost borderline abusive as far as the military members go. Like send them in harm's way needlessly or whatnot. Not to say that Donald Trump hasn't done it himself. I'm sure that was done as well. But Joe Biden, I would not... Only criminals wear masks, as Ivan's son. Well, good thing I've already revealed my face before on this live stream. So, nonetheless, not defending him at all, but he may not remember saying it, says Red Feather. Maybe. Big fat maybe. So he thinks we are stupid and bastards, says Sent1000. More like military members. I mean, unless you're part of the military yourself, Sent1000. But anyway, so moving on. Labor force participation. So one of the next claims that, I'm not doing this in any particular order, by the way, folks. I think that it was in the later part of the presidential debate. It might have been later than what I'm about to address here, of when that they were going back and forth about the whole stupid bastards comment. But this comment right here that I'm currently addressing is the whole jobs claim that Biden had thrown at Trump as far as his administration goes. He claimed supposedly that manufacturing went in the hole, quote unquote, as soon as he took office. Donald Trump made the claim, if I remember correctly, that he said that there was 700,000 jobs created under his watch, which that isn't exactly true either, because, okay, it says 314,000 jobs over Obama, so obviously there's possibly more. Just looking at the title alone, there's possibly more that the Forbes magazine article here could be referring to as far as raw number of jobs that was created. They're just mentioning of how many more Trump made as compared to Obama. If you go reading it later into this article, and by the way, I do have it linked down in the description box below right now, folks, if you want to read it yourself. I think the Forbes magazine article said 400,000. Said 400,000 or something a little bit over that, to my knowledge, to my remembrance. Which that is 300,000 short of 700,000 that Donald Trump had claimed during that debate. So yeah, Donald Trump isn't exactly truthful himself, but Joe Biden, I say, is the bigger liar in that little spat right there, because Joe Biden said it went in the hole. If I don't know of what context that he might have meant that in officially, but typically when I think somebody is saying that something went in the hole, they mean that there is a net loss in something. that almost implied to me that he was trying to refer that there was a net loss in manufacturing jobs under Trump, which, looking at the Forbes magazine article right here, it was not a net loss. Not even near a net loss in manufacturing jobs. So Joe Biden was a liar on that front as well. Although further in talking about jobs, Donald Trump had made some claim about unemployment. I can't remember exactly what claim it was. But Donald Trump had made a claim about how unemployment was at the lowest that it has ever been, or something along those lines, under his administration. But the thing is, labor force participation rate had kind of dropped. Well, it hadn't dropped like ever since he had took office in January 2017, which was 62.8%. It had remained overall steady. Like it raised some, lowered some. I mean, this is like before the coronavirus, by the way, folks. Before coronavirus and after Trump was inaugurated, it remained fairly steady. I think it might have only raised by 1 percentage point on the participation rate has. But then as soon as the coronavirus hit, participation rate dropped like a rock. So there is something to like keep in mind as far as unemployment goes. The actual joblessness, like the raw number of people that are without jobs, be it purposefully not looking for any more work, or they are trying to look for work but they are just unemployed beforehand. In combination of that, it's I guess one could make the point that the employment under Trump specifically might look somewhat good, but post-coronavirus, not so much. As looking at this is the number post-coronavirus, and I did read through this entire article myself, by the way. 61.7% as of August 2020, this being fairly after the coronavirus fully kicked into high gear here in the United States. So unemployment just doesn't look that good under Trump's watch, right now at least. I'm gonna look a little bit at the chat here before I move on. Let's just blame it on his dementia. I would rather stand on the front line with the military on the front line before I stand with Joe Biden in any office, says Sent1000. Indeed. But how many manufacturing jobs were lost under Obama, says Red Feather. The Forbes magazine article did not, I don't think it mentioned on how many total lost or gained jobs there were under the full 8 years under Obama. They were just looking at the last 3 years under Obama, and I think they said that it lowered some tens of thousands in 1 year, but then lost over 10,000 in a later year. You'll have to go look at the article. Like in 2015, I think it was, they said that manufacturing jobs had gained by 17,000, but in 2016, it had a net loss of 1,600, actually. Not 10,000, but 1,600 net loss in 2016 as far as manufacturing jobs go. You know what's funny? Both Biden and Obama are taking credit for the jobs credited by Trump, says Sent1000. Yeah, and even the jobs that were created like under Obama's watch, I say that, I've said that before, I said this plenty of times before, and I'm still going to say it now. I say that a lot of those jobs, particularly in manufacturing, were in spite of Obama rather than because of Obama. Because keep in mind, that was like when the fracking boom was happening, and Obama would have preferred to at least heavily restrict, if not full out ban fracking. So, yeah. Alright, there was also a claim at one point in the debate about the wildfires. Like, nobody had mentioned this. Not Trump, not Biden, not Chris Wallace, the debate moderator at the time. Nobody had mentioned the arsonists during the wildfires. They were talking about the wildfires on the West Coast and trying to pin that on climate change. They were just like hooked onto that one little facet of it and not looking at the man-made side of things. But if you go looking at this article right here, and I've read it all myself, there is like almost a dozen people that are responsible for, that have been arrested or at least charged for cases of arson along the West Coast. Now the article goes talking about how these people are, some of them are connected to Black Lives Matter, or Black Lives Matter supporters at least. Some of them are Antifa related. I don't know exactly of how relevant that is to this subject, and even the police departments later on in this article go saying that they highly doubt that Antifa really has any heavy doings in this in trying to sabotage Trump or the country by, causing fires. So there is no heavy evidence to suggest that it was explicitly orchestrated by Antifa or Black Lives Matter, but all the same, I overall don't care about that as of yet. I just wanted to point this out, that there is a man-made aspect, that there is I don't want to say man-made aspect because, or just leave that on itself. There is a directly man-caused aspect to this, in that a person was committing a crime, causing damage to property. I guess setting fire to a bush would not technically be considered a property, but there is an aspect of where that people are intentionally starting fires to just aggravate be it intentionally or not, aggravate the environment. Rather than too many people are driving their cars or work in their factories, and that is what is causing the temperatures to rise across the globe and causing these wildfires, blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm not going to completely discount climate change at all, but just keep this in mind for all the people that want to go looking at the West Coast fires and say, climate change! So, another thing that was mentioned during that debate was mail-in ballots. Now, this is not a very big piece of evidence right here, because it's only 7 military ballots that were casted for Trump. Is 7 out of 9 ballots that they had found, mail-in ballots that they had found that were casted for residents of Pennsylvania who are actually deployed military members. 7 of them were confirmed for Trump. The other 2 were of unknown origin. But nonetheless, Trump was raising the concern that there is a possibility that the Democrats will probably jerry-rig the election just a little bit by discarding some of the ballots that were casted, some of the mail-in ballots that were casted for Trump and whatnot. I'm not going to say to what extent exactly of how heavily influencing that this will be as far as Trump's loss or win goes, but there is still... This article was actually shared to me by Aircraft Sparky, so shout out to him on that point, and thanks to you, Aircraft Sparky, for sharing this when you did. But nonetheless, there is still a little bit of an argument and a conversation to start about how mail-in ballots, especially doing them for everybody, or at least half of the people that live in the United States and who aren't deployed military members, that it just sets a bad precedent for either side, really, to cheat against each other by throwing away ballots, potential votes that were casted for, the other side that they are running against. So, I'm going to have to, look at another article that goes looking more into this, of how heavily influential mail-in ballots will be in each election, but there is still that little bit of evidence to look into. Red Feather says, it did disappoint me that they didn't talk about the arsonists or the riots. I think they talked about the riots in that debate. Red Feather is just the arsonists they didn't mention. Yes, luckily some were stupid enough to live stream themselves setting fires. Yeah. It would be known as the Obama fracking gate if it went south. Sent 1000. I guess so. I don't know. Mikhail the Stray Cat, hello there in the chat, by the way. It's laughably ironic that in their desperation to virtue signal how environmentally friendly California is, the so-called environmentalists have actually turned much of California into a tinderbox. Which, actually, that's another thing. I think it was mentioned by both Incredible Aspie and Rational Outlaw. One of the last live streams I did, they both live in California, by the way, of where that in a Democratic-run state, that they haven't cleaned up a lot of their brush. They just got some dead brush, a whole bunch of dead brush lying around along the highways and so forth there in California. And so it's not really so much a climate change, it's more of a matter of littering. Careless littering that would be causing it, rather than running your machinery and whatnot that would be causing these fires. Also, they said they were going to accept mail-in ballots 3 days after the election, says Red Feather. Oh, brother. Yep, for all those more lazy people that don't want to get off their asses and get going on the voting. But anyway, so moving on from talking about the actual debate itself and the claims made in the debate, excuse me, during my live stream review of the first presidential debate, I got asking myself some things about Joe Jorgensen. One of the things was, how sympathetic is Joe Jorgensen exactly to Black Lives Matter? Like, I got wondering, what all is she going to be doing about the riots? Like, is she just going to allow them, or is she going to try her best to stop them? I haven't seen a whole lot of evidence either way, although I think I might have, like, at least read some implications that supposedly she condemns the riots. I do not know, that's not exactly a call to stop them necessarily, but she does not seem to condone the riots, at least not explicitly anyways. But in my trying to find that information, I did not find that a piece of evidence or information that I was originally looking for, but I found this instead. Libertarian Party presidential nominee praises company for firing employee who said all lives matter. Now, if you go reading into this article, she goes saying that firing people who say all lives matter is a demonstration of the free market, and that it's an example of how that the free market should supposedly resolve racism. So basically, she's implying that saying that all lives matter is racist. Yeah, so, man, she's being even more spineless towards Black Lives Matter than even Gary Johnson in 2016, arguably. Because at least Gary Johnson did not give off the rhetoric or implication that saying all lives matter is racist. But here, she's saying that, employers firing their employees who say all lives matter on Facebook, that is the free market resolving racism. That's a clear implication that she's saying that saying all lives matter is freaking racist. And really, it's not. I mean, saying all lives matter when you hear Black Lives Matter, if somebody just merely say Black Lives Matter and you say all lives matter, that might be a little bit of a deflection of political subjects to be talking about. But all the same, it's not inherently, much less explicitly racist to say all lives matter, because really, it is a tried and true philosophy that people should recognize. All lives are equal, and all lives should not be just arbitrarily killed off. That is really what all lives matter is supposed to mean. Now, Black Lives Matter, by extension, equally means the same, except it's pertaining more specifically towards black people, that black people should not be killed arbitrarily, innocent black people shouldn't be killed, so on and so forth. And of course, the term Black Lives Matter could mean either Black Lives Matter 2 or only Black Lives Matter, depending on what type of Black Lives Matter activist that you are. If you're a black nationalist or black supremacist, then obviously Black Lives Matter to you means only Black Lives Matter or Black Lives Matter more. But if you're just a milquetoast equality for all Black Lives Matter supporter, then you're going to think that Black Lives Matter 2 is what Black Lives Matter means. But all the same, all lives matter, it's hard to destroy the context of what that phrase means. And saying just purely all lives matter is racist, no, Joe, I have to heavily disagree on that. Stop cucking out to Black Lives Matter in this sort of manner. Come on. Cleaning up the burnable material harms the environment somehow, says Red Feather. Yeah, exactly. JC Armitage says, I heard that Joe's website crashed from heavy internet traffic after the presidential debates. I thought that was pretty telling and funny. How you been, JC? This is Mikhail. Red Feather says, yes, I don't understand how all lives matter doesn't include black lives. Right? Mikhail Stray Cat, apparently all somehow excludes black people because leftists said so because reasons. Yeah, exactly. 71000 says, placing a color before anything means anyone of that group, even if they are criminal or not, are protected and are automatically racist to me. I would have to take a second read to fully understand this statement, 71000, but I'm just going to leave it for right now. So, in further conversation about Joe Jorgensen, like that first article that I presented to you right there, that is peanuts. It doesn't mean a whole lot on the grand scheme of things and how moral or just or not of a president that she'll be if she was to be elected president. And obviously, being a third-party candidate, she's highly unlikely to be elected as president anyways. But nonetheless, big fat if she was to become president, would she do anything as far as businesses firing all lives matter type of employees? I don't think that she'd be able to, or even be advocating to want to do anything about businesses in firing employees that say all lives matter. But here, this is a little bit more on the practical side of things. She wants to nominate, or at least one of the nominees that she proposes is Alan Dershowitz. Now, go reading into this article here, folks, and you'll go to find out that freaking Alan Dershowitz is an associate of Jeffrey Epstein. You heard me right there, folks. Alan Dershowitz has affiliated and associated with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, before I go on any further, I just want to annotate that I do not really consider a Jeffrey Epstein association to be the end-all be-all of a person's moral character. I mean, before the child predatory incrimination stuff came out about Jeffrey Epstein, that would be before all that shit. But here's another thing that is kind of condemning and almost incriminating on Alan Dershowitz's part. Not only is he merely associated with Jeffrey Epstein, but he is also for lowering the age of consent. So, that's highly suspect. Like, you're associating with a well-known pedophile that had his own pedophile island. So, and you're also, and maybe one could like grant the benefit of the doubt that just merely associating with that person, you did not know about their pedophilic type of shit. But if you're also for lowering the age of consent, that really shows that maybe you were practicing with Jeffrey Epstein, with that said pedophile in his pedophilic acts. So, it's not hard evidence that he actually did visit Jeffrey Epstein's private island, but in combination of associating with him and also being for lowering the age of consent, Alan Dershowitz, I think that there should be an investigation made on him before he even be considered for SCOTUS. I mean, he should probably be like investigated right now for that matter. But this is ridiculous. Like, Joe Jorgensen, do you not vet your potential SCOTUS nominees that you want to appoint? Like Alan Dershowitz here being found to want to lower the age of consent. And the supermajority of America does not want that. The supermajority, like almost all of America, except for some whack jobs, some fringe minority of whack jobs that probably don't even make like 10,000 people in this country of 320 million. Yeah, all of them except for that small fragment don't want that for obvious reasons. Diddling kids is wrong, folks. And I will not get further into that, otherwise I'm going to just get rambly and kind of drain my own soul and brain cells trying to argue against pedophilia. Yikes. Bleach flavored cola. I get your bleach flavored cola here. Yes, give some bleach flavored cola to Alan Dershowitz. Dershowitz, more like Derpowitz, am I right? Yes, JC Armitage. Red Feather says, I bet he enjoyed Cuties as well. Don't remind me of that movie. Don't remind me of that abomination. But yeah. So, that's, so looking at all this stuff, I was like, I'm going to be honest, I was highly considering Joe Jorgensen at one point or another, casting my vote off to her in the same way that I casted my vote off to Evan McMullen back in 2016. But all the stuff that's coming out more and more about Joe Jorgensen, about how she's sympathetic with Black Lives Matter, almost seems rather fickle on wanting to stop the riots. And now is also one to possibly nominate a real damn well potential pedophile, or at least a pedophilia supporter. Like, anyone who wants to lower the age of consent is a pedophilia defender. Change my mind. I mean, that's the least that you can say about Alan Dershowitz, if not an outright pedo himself. So, yeah, Joe Jorgensen, I'm not voting for you. At this point, you can go fuck yourself. Unless you, like, go possibly retracting Alan Dershowitz from your list of nominees, I'm not interested. And I'll probably, like, go explaining who I'm going to cast my vote off to sometime in a later day before the election day. But for right now, I'm just going to leave that subject right there and get on with it. So, moving on, here's a couple of videos that Metal Doomer wanted me to watch and review. I think he said that he kind of wanted me to respond to them, but I do not know how exactly I'm going to be responding to these two because, for one, they're Paul Joseph Watson. I mean, I don't have that much of an opinion of Paul Joseph Watson. Like, he said some stupid shit before that I've heard people heard people go talking about and don't really challenge much of and just accepted face value at. Like, for one example, he says that depression is a lie or something like that, which is just on the surface seems like an absolute bullshit hot take. But nonetheless, I don't have that much of an opinion of Paul Joseph Watson. As far as I'm concerned, I don't really care about him. And I don't know of how much that I will agree or disagree with Paul Joseph Watson on this. But, oh god, what the fuck is that on the screen? Oh, it's Paul Joseph Stalin. Never mind. Paul Joseph Watson wearing a bird mask? I don't know. Well, let's see what it is here that Metal Doomer wanted me to see.
My first and highest duty as president is to defend our great country and the American people. I swore an oath to uphold the laws of our nation, laws of our nation. I swore an oath to uphold the laws of our nation. I will fight to protect you. I am your president of law and order and an ally.
Is the popular board game chess racist?
Check! White Queen's rooks are moved without orders.
I mean, oh god. It's cooferific, says Aircraft Sparky. He's gone asking about my mask, and I tell him it's only purely aesthetic, and he says it's cooferific. Well, thank you, Aircraft Sparky. I don't know. But I'm just wondering to myself, what exactly am I looking here to respond to? Like, is there going to be an argument eventually in this video? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Chess? Racist? What the fuck? Yeah, exactly. Because if you go, like, painting anything black at all, or anything white at all, that is inherently and automatically racist, apparently. Because the black and white, or they're not even white, they're more tan chess pieces. Yeah, apparently you can't do that.
Bring him in for treatment. What's all that about?
It's not allowed. Cult of the individual.
Carla, chess, is it racist?
The countryside is racist. National parks are racist. Garage door pulleys are racist. The Cocoa Pops monkey is racist. This statue of an elk is racist. The word master to describe bedrooms and bathrooms is racist. Wine is racist. Time is racist. The following TikTok video made by a teenager is racist.
Just gonna stay.
Yeah, she right though.
What the fuck?
Just a thought, but relying on mob intimidation, violence, the threat of personal ruination, and the power of giant monopolistic corporations to terrify everyone into thinking the same way probably suggests you're not on the right side of history.
Yeah, exactly. You just want to result to swinging fists at the people who you're talking to. I mean, a person just merely talks about their ideas, doesn't even make a freaking death threat at anybody. They just merely talk about how they want the world to be, and you go like swinging your fist at them just because of disagreements. It kind of goes to show a bit of desperation on your part, and that you damn well have lost big points right there. And by extension, you go damaging people, or yeah, I don't know, or you go demanding people to shut up in a debate. That also shows a big point of desperation on your part as well. I find the Pillsbury Doughboy racist, says that one. Don't forget about Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. Yeah, right, Red Feather. After 10 days in Orlando being forced to wear a mask, I can say without a doubt, fuck 'em, says Aircraft Sparky. What? Orlando, Florida, they, are they more stringent with their enforcement of masks mandate, Sparky? Just out of curiosity. Anyway.
Allowed. Cult of the individual.
People who support Black Lives Matter, people who support the left, a lot of them think that they are in possession of radical political opinions. This has been said 1,000 times. How radical is your opinion when the cops and the National Guard are kneeling and doing the Macarena, dancing with protesters, and every major corporation has put out a message and donated money to this cause? How radical are your opinions really? The people who are spray painting cop cars and burning cop cars and smashing windows and whatnot, how radical are your opinions really when these actions are allowed to take place? Because it's not the case that it's a tactical decision. It's not like the cops.
I don't think people like calling rioting and so forth radical. I don't think people are calling it radical because it's not accepted or anything. I think that people are calling that bullshit radical because it should not be deemed as acceptable. Florida men in dispute over mask mandate. Aircraft Sparky says they're almost paranoid with it. Just name themselves Theme Parkville. Right? Zachary Colley in the chat says Florida men in dispute over mask mandate. Yeah, I guess so. But I'm kind of puzzled here. I guess Paul Joseph Watson, he had decided to stop like talking into the camera anymore, and he's just playing clips and then having I don't know, Microsoft Steve talking text.
The National Guard couldn't crack down on this if they wanted to. It's that it's being allowed to happen. And if you think otherwise, you're a fool.
Most senior positions in Scotland are filled.
I honestly do not get entirely that guy's spiel right there, because he was using such what's the word I'm looking for? Stifled wording to make his statement. We're gonna start over on Tuxedo Guy.
And if you think otherwise, you're a fool.
Most senior positions in Scotland are filled almost exclusively by those who are white. Take my portfolio alone. The Lord President, white. The Lord Justice Clerk, white. Every High Court judge, white. The Lord Advocate, white. The Solicitor General, white. The Chief Constable, white.
So, I mean, if they're like racist against the people of other colors, that's when it becomes concerning. Not just purely because they coincidentally are white and all are white. I mean, what happened to the saying from Martin Luther King, I dream of a world where people are judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. No, this person is going against that saying, apparently.
Every Deputy Chief Constable, white. Every Assistant Chief Constable, white. The head of the Law Society, white. The head of the Faculty of Advocates, white. Every prison governor, white. And not just justice.
The Chief Medical Officer, white. The Chief Nursing Officer, white. The Chief Veterinary Officer, white. The Chief Social Work Advisor, white. Almost every trade union in this country headed by people who are white. In the Scottish Government, every Director General is white. Every chair of every public body is white.
White, 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 white.
Well, how much of a percentage of Scotland's population are black is what I gotta wonder. Oh, well, just about to get into that here soon. Scotland is 96% white, as claimed by Paul Joseph Watson. Well, I don't know exactly how true that is because Paul Joseph Watson doesn't exactly give his sources for XYZ claim, but we'll just for right now give the benefit of the doubt as it is. They call Martin Luther King a coon now, says Red Feather. Wait, what? Who all calls Martin Luther King Jr. A coon nowadays, Red Feather? Okay, so there are lots of white people in Scotland, and this is an issue because why? Says Michaela Stray Cat. Exactly.
The legacy of the past is rampant institutional racism and sexism, and sometimes it's difficult to see any tangible evidence that those things exist in 2020. Sometimes it feels like they're just imaginary monsters conjured up by ideological extremists who want to tear the world apart and rebuild it according to their values. But it's all real, guys. White men are intrinsically evil, and it's good when they acknowledge it and apologise, but maybe that's not enough. If we want the world to be safe and tolerant, perhaps white men need to be separated off from decent humanity. Just pen them all into some sort of prison somewhere until we work out what to do with them. Not me, obviously. Don't come for me, guys. I'm an ally. I'll say anything you want me to. It doesn't even have to be true.
Is this guy a fucking parody? Is he parodying right now? Is he parodying, like, white SJW liberals, or is he an actual white SJW liberal himself? Like, I mean, I guess it's not outside of the possibility of this, like, not being a parody, because I'm not gonna lie, folks. I got into an argument with somebody over Facebook at one time who was a former friend of mine who had a major case of white guilt, who literally thought that it should be deemed as okay for black people to be racist towards white people, but white people shouldn't be racist towards black people. For at least the short term, supposedly. That's not going to end racism if you go saying rules for me, or rules for thee but not for me kind of attitude, or rather, actually, it's the inverse, actually, that type of mentality. It's more like rules for me but not for thee. I can't be racist, that's the rule, but you can decide on whether or not you want to be racist towards me and my other fellow white compatriots and so forth. What is there, like, a word for reverse hypocrisy of where that you're all like, oh, it's okay if you do it to me, but it's not okay if I do it to you? It's ridiculous. Or is he inhaling helium, says one doesn't? I mean, I don't know. Might not be surprising. I mean, this guy does sound pretty squirrely. It's hard to tell what's parody anymore, says Red Feather. True that.
Just please don't come for me. I can't afford to be cancelled. I've just had a new kitchen fitted.
White Lives Matter Burnley.
Oh, brother. I think I've seen this video before.
White lives don't matter. I resist urges to need.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. All that footage right there of the one moon, like space ordnance landing on Earth. That just gave me like high amounts of anxiety right now. I feel triggered, folks. Excuse me. Heebie-jeebies. Had to shake that off. That dude is exactly why I refuse to drink soy lattes, says Mikhail. Yeah, exactly. I resist urges to kneecap white men every day, so no. I am the hero. Okay.
Kneecap white men every day.
What was that supposed to be?
Hello. Police, please. I think there's a robber in my house. Could you come quickly? I think he's armed.
Of course. We'll be there right away.
Help. He's attacking me.
What in the actual F is all this, says Aircraft Sparky? I was requested by a longtime subscriber to react and respond, quote unquote, to all this, Aircraft Sparky. I mean, I don't know what exactly I'm supposed to be responding to and whatnot. Nothing to respond to here. Yeah, I'm probably just going to cut it short. Yeah. I mean, no offense to Metal Doomer if he ever goes back and watching this. I'm probably just going to, I'm probably just going to cut it short. I mean, the second video here is probably just going to be all the more same stuff. Just the random goofy ass clips thrown together. Uploaded by Paul Joseph Watson. Is there any kind of actual argument in this vid, says Mikhail? Yeah, exactly. Where's the Strawman song when you need it? What the fuck, says Sent 1000. Right further, the BLM folks and supporters. She's answering my question I asked earlier of who is calling Martin Luther King Jr. a coon now? And Red Feather says BLM folks and supporters. Well, yeah, actually, you know what, folks? I think I'm just going to end the live stream right here. Metal Doomer, if you get to this far in watching the video, Paul Joseph Watson is just ridiculous at times, and so is the left. Yeah. So. Just got dark. Just got in dark. What the hell's on your face? It's just a bit of aesthetic, True Grave. It's a blackout American flag mask. Just to chat here with the chat for a little bit longer, then I'm gonna cut it off. So Paul Joseph Stalin is now in the business of making TikTok videos and posting them onto StateTube. Man, how the mighty have fallen. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with Watson with PJW. But yeah, I'm just going to say right now, Metal Doomer, if you get this far into this live stream, I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't see much to respond to here. I'll make it up to you if there's like some other video that you do know that I'll explicitly disagree with and will want to respond to and so forth. I'll make it up that way, but I can't find anything to respond to. I'm just not amused enough in a way to where that I think it's worthy of live streaming, honestly. So I'm probably going to DM to him as well, just talk about it a little bit. Ask him if there's something else that he wants me to respond to instead, because now I'm starting to feel bad. But at the same time, I feel kind of bad that I am wasting airtime on this. Although I guess I could like find one more article to read instead of at least one more article to read rather than just going rather than just cutting it short. No, not that. Is there anything in my criteria here? No, I've already read that a long time ago. Yeah, I know that's old. That's old. You know what? I'm probably just going to end it right now, actually. So DarkCon is the big gay. Got it, says Truegrave. Yeah. Sure, whatever, Truegrave. But anyway, actually, I'm probably going to just cut it right here just so I can, like, get to working some more on my video response to Michael Knowles on flag burning. His take on one of Trump's town halls that he did in the late part of summer. Truegrave says, I haven't been involved in one of your live streams in like 2 weeks, and you're going to end it just as I get here. Sorry, Truegrave, but I haven't like come prepared enough. Oh man. Yeah, I just did not come prepared enough to be going on much longer. Aside from that stuff that I wanted to talk about. Maybe I'll find something else to talk about on Tuesday, whatnot. I don't know. But I'm definitely going to be reviewing the last presidential debate coming up on Thursday. That is, if it's still going to go as planned, as scheduled. But until then, I don't know of what will be going on as far as my live streaming criteria goes, the agenda goes. But yeah, I think I'm just going to end it right there so I can get to work on editing and so forth. Sorry to everybody who just now joined. Sorry that this live stream ended off on a whimper. But I am like really procrastinating and just I think boring everybody's minds out. Anyway, sorry to disappoint, but if you want to go watching as far as today's content goes, go back and rewatch the replay of this live stream. Although you might want to fast forward about 8-9 minutes or something like that because I did not have my mic properly set up. I'm gonna have to look into that problem. But anyway, I guess I'll take one last look at the last chat. Preparation is a key. Just be better next time. Jump in, DarkCon server, and BS, and asking for perfection just for you to be better. Be a good boy and get social. Just reading between Truegrave and Aircraft Sparky's chats. Alright, I'll try to keep that advice in mind, but I'm going to end it right now. So, thank you all for tuning in. See you all later, and stay tuned for Thursday's live stream reviewing the presidential debate and my possible edited response video to Michael Knowles coming out here soon. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Anyway, good night and God bless.